Right.
Is this the first slide?
No, it's not right.
So, okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody. So as students, we're using Metro in daily basis, and as a group of architecture and economic students, we're going to talk about the suggestion of policy about the Metro safety. Imagine you're a 50-year-old man and you're leaving your work using Metro to go to your family and home. You're using Metro as always, but the time you're leaving the work is most crowded time in Baku Metro. Fortunately, you're in the first line of the crowd. Or is it a fortune? So, the watchman of the metro cannot conduct everyone because there are a lot of people. You're just in one step between the rails that can be your desk. You're seeing the train coming and think that you're finally going to be home, but the crowd pushes you and you're falling onto the rails. Yes, the conductor recognizes you. He's trying to stop, but it's too late. You won't go back to your house, and the conductor will be living with the feeling that he killed someone. So, it is a real story due to report us with a 55-year-old citizen of Baku, and it's not the only situation in last years with deadly outcome when passengers fall onto the rails. It's all happening due to the fact that we do not have anything between the platform where the passengers are standing and the train rails. So, in addition to these tragic situations, also often people's belongings are fallen onto the rails, which is also unpleasant. I think it's known for you when you're standing next to the platform and feeling anxiety that you can fall your phone there. And this all can be solved by some implementations that already been experienced in many countries. In our situation is Korea as an example. So to give an overview about the solutions, I'm passing the floor to Amba.
Okay. Imagine a situation where you wake up one beautiful morning and on watching the report of Azerbaijan, like the TV news, you hear a situation where somebody was unable to go back home because during the crowd or like the rush hours at the train station, he or she fell and was crushed. So, what happens? I believe that there is a possible solution to handle this issue that will help prevent further incidents from happening, because a life lost is a waste, or it's something that is going to affect a lot of families back home and put a lot of things on hold. So there is a possible solution, which is talking about the implementation or the installation of platform screen doors. As you can see, these platform screen doors, they have been implemented in other countries, like I made earlier said, Korea. These doors will help to prevent people from like falling off, especially when there is too much crowd or when people want to like force their way into the train station. And this will happen, the doors will only open when the train has finally aligned itself for people to go in. And with this, it will help to prevent further incidents, further deaths, further injuries from happening. It will also help to improve passenger safety. And with all this, there is a system that needs to be done by implementing these rules, these laws. And before implementing this, we have to like put into action some requirements that are being needed. And these requirements need money, need time, need human resources. And above all, this implementation of platform screen doors has advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is the fact that it will prevent further incidents from happening. It will improve passenger security or safety. It will give room for better management and control of overcrowding. And for these disadvantages, this is something that will require a lot of money. It will call for extra workers that will need to like make sure that this implementation works and the doors and should be functioning, and it will take time for this to be installed. I will pass on for my extended colleague to continue.
Now I would like to continue with the interview we took from one of the workers in metro station. She was a cleaner, and her name was Sevinch Karimov. We asked her about the situation in metro stations when something or even someone falls onto the railings. She said that when something falls onto the railings, there is a high risk not only of the injuries, but there is a greater risk that the train could fall if you turn off the electricity. When something falls onto the railings, we should consider that the railings contain high voltage electricity, which makes the train moving when it arrives. If we turn off the railings to take something or someone up back to the platform, it could disrupt the entire system of the train, and it gives a huge risk. Save one life or an item, or give a dangerous situation to entire train of people, which could contain up to hundreds, if not even thousands, of people in one wagon. So, we need to consider all that when we speak about the fall of item or person onto the railings. And this gives us the course of action. First of all, we take the benchmark country, for example, we took Korea, and we identify high-risk stations. For example, they took one station in Korea, which had been in the main city, on the main streets. So we do the same for Baku as well. For example, we can take Sahil station, which is overcrowded on hours from 6 to 7 in the evening. We identified the high-risk stations. Then we go on to feasibility of this plan. We stakeholders, we try to identify financial risks. We think of management of these screen doors and special bars. We need to also contact the local government and authorities and engage them within the situation. Then we implement the first trial doors and screen bars onto one of the stations. After some months, for example, after 6 months, we come and try collecting data about how much risk was decreased on this station after the implementation of the screen doors. If the situation is improved, we implement all those doors and bars on each station, which would cost approximately 3,004,000 manat for each station. Now I want to pass my word to Jamila.
So, in our opinion, having a right of feeling safe and climate controlled around the station is a must that every person should have. No tunnel wind, no climate, no deafening noises, and most importantly, zero risk of falling down. This is a must that every person should have. In Seoul, Korea, for example, researchers published a study which showed that how these barriers led to an increasement of 89% of reduction in fatalities. Not only they saved lives, but also they saved 30% in cost efficiency, which with keeping the air conditioning inside of the subway and station. In conclusion, I would like to say that we demand safety as a right, not in a luxury, and that every person should have their safe place.
Okay, guys.
Conclusion. We recognize that there is a conclusion.
Okay.